afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our MSME Masterclass. Today's session turns to a constraint that quietly determines whether projects move or stall, how effectively supply chains are designed, coordinated, and executed on the ground. In construction, delays are rarely the result of a single failure. They emerge from fragmented sourcing, poor vendor alignment, inconsistent material quality, and limited visibility across the flow of inputs. To unpack this, we are joined by Mr. P.V.S. Nageswara Rao, Director at Elsa Concreting Machinery India Private Limited, who brings more than 4 decades of experience leading complex engineering and construction equipment organizations in India and abroad. His career spans leadership roles across various companies with deep involvement in systems like EOT cranes, batching plants, and concreting pumps critical to construction supply chain. He combines strong technical depth with a process-driven approach to execution, having managed projects across more than 10 countries. His work has consistently focused on improving productivity, reducing inefficiencies, and building scalable systems that deliver reliable outcomes. He is currently advising multiple organizations on enhancing performance, profitability, and long-term operational discipline. In today's session, he will share practical perspectives on how MSMEs can optimize their construction supply chains, strengthening vendor coordination, reducing downtime, ensuring material consistency, and delivering projects with far greater predictability. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you.
So our first question to you today is, where do supply chain failures hit MSMEs the hardest? Is it delays, cost overruns, or blocked cash flow?
First question is very important question and very relevant to the present project management, project construction projects in India. Let's say this all three are interconnected, madam. But blocked cash is the main silent killer of the project. We should be very careful about this. Why? A delay you can explain to a client, but somewhat delay you can compensate after negotiation. But blocked cash cannot. And it is not only impact at that particular moment, but it will impact further projects also. If you see really, that is about 15 to 25% of project overruns, which is highly contributing by blocked cash. This is what it is. I'm experienced in projects. Hence, supply delay triggers a project delay. Project delay triggers penalty clauses. Penalty clause block the next billing cycle. This is a very important thing. So fix cash flow visibility first, everything else follows. That's what I'm strongly feel.
Okay, and sir, tell us, why do construction projects run out of materials despite advanced planning?
Generally, what I have observed and seen in my 4 decades of experience in project management and project-oriented organizations, MSMEs plan on paper timely lines, but they miss the ground realities. This is advanced planning in construction typically assumes a linear progress, but Indian construction sites are anything but linear. Labor absenteeism is there due to various festivals, monsoons, disruptions, and sudden sometimes design changes. All these influences unpredictably affecting the project. Additionally, most procurement plans are made at the start of the project without any buffer considerations. So nothing will be 100% perfect plans time to time, but the gaps considering the experience, the various delays, typical site wastages, calculations, may not be appropriate at the time of beginning planning. Generally, a typical site 8 to 12% steel scrap and wastage, and about 20% cement beyond theoretical estimates. Nobody plans for that. The results beautifully prepared procurement schedules that falls apart by the next month. So initially, these are the reasons. The planning, the ground realities has to be effectively considered, and these are to be experiences are to be shared into the planning. Buffers has to be put properly so that we can overcome this type of failures.
Understood. Understood. So, moving on, my next question to you is according to you, help our MSME attendees understand what is the biggest mistake they make while planning procurement for a project?
Okay. Generally, procurement consists of a lot of functions in it within the process. But people consider it as just a purchase activity. But it's not like that. But it is not immediately going to the shops or addressing to somebody and buying, but it is a strategic function. If this is considered procurement as a strategic function, yes, we can overcome. Otherwise, planning procurement for project is creating a lot of problems in the projects. Generally, in the sites, project sites, this function is given to a site engineer, an accountant, or sometimes a contractor assistant, rather than treating as a core business discipline. Procurement is a discipline. This results in reactive buying, purchasing materials only when the site paying premium prices, accepting whatever quality is available, and losing 10 to 15 days of project momentum. Actually, procurement must be planned backwards from the project schedule scores and cash flow impact mapped in advances. Then planning will definitely will give better results compared to the previous observations.
Okay, and how can MSMEs plan material purchases, without locking too much working capital into it?
Wow. That depends upon size of project, size of procurement volume, but at the same time, no one procure materials at a time in the project, especially at the beginning of the start of the project. Yes, we procure long lead items, take actions for immediately. Second, bought outs, which will be supplied with somebody's design, somebody's manufacturing, or imported items. These items is a next immediate step to represent as the capital deployment. Second, mid executions. Suppose is a project consists of sand, cement, and these. Generally, these are procured in 15 to 20 days cycle times, generally 2-week plan for project sites. Third is tiles, fixtures, electricals purchases only after client approvals, which needs a client approval, because an aesthetics or something which is procured should not be rejected by the client. This is the expensive, all these things, if anything is reject. So any suppliers are for project successfully to run, minimum 30 to 45 days negotiate suppliers processing or negotiating, it takes time. So this has to be considered. The single discipline can free up 20 to 30% of working capital that MSMEs routine keep locked unnecessarily by overbuying or short buying. This is impacting. So hence this 3-stage, according to the progressive, considering the site progress, one strategic purchase and immediate purchase and 2-week cycle time, if they followed, this will improve purchase without any locking too much working capital, and can improve the supply inputs to the sites.
Sir, also help us understand when does bulk buying actually hurt more than it helps?
Yes, this is bulk buying hurts when generally if you buy bulk buy, there must be a storage at the site. That is a cost. That is a maintaining. And similarly, suppose the steel is there, if they procured in bulk and they kept at the site due to climatic conditions, it will get rusty. And the storage and the handling costs and a long time storage, the general steel kept without any coating, special coatings on it will impact the project. Again, further cleaning, further blastings will take its cost to the project. Similarly, there are shelf life items. Suppose if you buy a cement for the project site, at least its shelf life is maybe about 90 days, right? If you store more than that, there is a big store and protecting systems and all this, its cost. And also, when you buy bulk, that huge money investment, it's a capital in lock, cash lock, which is also not correct. So generally, if anything's bulk buying locks you into higher costs, when we want to buy a spot benefit or good savings, never bulk buy commodities in a declining price environment. Sometimes prices rise and prices reduce. This also influence. Suppose if suddenly you procured a bulk buy, after 15 days, 20 days, prices are come down, then it will be a huge loss to the company. The rule is simple: bulk buy only what you can store safely, use within quality, shelf. This will when prices are demonstrably rising, we should be take cautious. So considering all these facts, if you procure, things will be better.
And so, how should MSMEs decide between the lowest, price and the most reliable supplier?
This is an important thing. Generally, never choose lowest price on a critical path material. If you depend upon one, it will blast the project and it will create chaos at the sites. What I suggest, for any vendor you want to lock, you will have to do 3R test. 3R test means one is the reliability, rate, and relationship. These three tests has to be done before locking to any vendor. Considering these three factors, evaluation, if you fix vendor, that's a great. And the rate is the price within 5 to 7% market. If yes, reliability wins. If the gap is 15% plus, negotiate reliable guarantees before accepting. So generally, people give a purchase order, but all the conditions or warranties and reliability of things miss in even purchase orders. These are also one of the things very important MSMEs has to note. With relationships, can you call this supplier at 9 a.m. every day for this? Then things will improve. So a supplier who is 8% cheaper but deliver 12 days late on the project, the penalty clause will cost you 5 times more than the savings. Hence, the rate is not only one factor, the reliability, timely supply, quality, and these all and relationships, how you address in a critical times by MSME supplier. This is also an important factor. Based on this, vendor management has to be done for successful project.
And so, what is the right way, according to you, to build a dependable vendor network for uninterrupted supply?
Generally, if it is any volume of quantity, we should not depend upon one. At least 60% tier 1 prime vendors, that will help you, and 30% that is a secondary vendors, second vendor, that is called a tier 2. If suddenly want something go on market, that is a 10% people will keep in options to buy. If this followed. So emergencies will meet, and if the tier 1 miss, tier 2 is ready to help you. Similarly, tier 3 and emergency cases. This way, we will have to build vendors for long-term partners, either tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. All three are to be set as a long-time vendors to protect the project interest and long-term support. That's what I feel.
Okay, got it. And how can MSMEs protect themselves from supplier defaults or inconsistent quality according to you?
So today in Indian market, Indian projects, if someone analysis in CII we have noticed and observed, there is a cost of poor quality. It is rising day by day. Even we see recently projects and bridges and roads damaged within short period of time. This is a very important thing, quality inspection. Before dispatch, we must ensure the quality. And also before bulk buy, use sample test. You take a sample, fulfill all the specification, all the tests, establish the process of vendor to meet the quality required to your project site material. Once it is established, then it is very simple for the scaling of the volume and supply further. Without doing testing, first samples and 100% inspection of first samples without verification. If you go for volume bulk and ordering and without ensuring any inspections at the before supply, only reaching site, after reaching the site, facing the music of the quality problems, and it will be a huge loss. Hence, this is a very critical for project sites. So inspection before ensuring, and dual sourcing for all critical materials also very important here. Dual sourcing, we should not depend upon one. If one item is one source, it's some quality issue, immediately second. That's why what we discussed earlier, the 3-tier vendors has to be followed. Similarly, quality is an important aspect to ensure before supply. That's why we said in any sourcing, reliability test is very important. That without reliability test, we cannot lock the vendor.
And what is the best or the smartest way to deal with the frequent price fluctuations and in steel and cement?
Okay, especially there is a now today market in a large steel plants doing a lot of innovative way to supply things. First of all, index your contracts, contracts, and hedge your exposure, especially for client contracts. Always include a price escalation clause tied to the steel authority, whoever suppliers, steel suppliers, price escalation. Suppose next 6 months, next 3 months, next 1 year, what are the steel price fixation? This is very important for steel industry. When I was in a large company, when I'm working this, I used to make annual contract of 10,000 tons of steel supply or 7,000 tons of steel supply per annum, but it is staggered supply for this. But we will lock the price either quarterly or 6 months, off yearly. So this way you can control the cost, and if it is once you lock volume with the contract with any steel maker, that is the steel maker also then plan his production schedules accordingly, which will help both sides. So this way procurement, this is called a forward purchase strategy. Is that right? It is a forward purchase strategy, and locking prices at least for 3 months, if not 2 months. And this is a one technique to keep cost control. And similarly, the stockists or mills or whoever may be, the relations. Truth, transparent way communications, understanding more. This will help, and at least they should believe your payment system, our contract system. And even 2 to 4 weeks, if any delays, even for cash flow due to project something, The supplier must be in a position to understand and bear, and further they will have to be support. This type of relationship is very important with the suppliers.
So, just taking cue from what you just mentioned in terms of locking prices, tell our attendees when should they look at locking prices and when should they buy from the spot market?
This generally there are you see we have 3 pre-monsoon sessions and timely requirement, the festival seasons, post-election, pre-election, and the government also funds flow abstract sometime, cash flow, budgets, allotments, release. These are all the market signals has to be taken care. New infra projects especially lock immediately demand whatever they immediately required, and global commodities, and buy spot and price likely falling. When the falling price, at that time immediately you will have to lock the material price and place an order. The discipline is to read macro signals, not just react to today's invoice price. So this depends upon the purchase planning, the forward purchasing, and what the lock, at least for next 60 to 90 days you must lock the price without any negative impact on the project cost. That's what I used to follow, and I will advise others also to follow this.
Right. Now, sir, moving on, tell us how can poor coordination between site teams and suppliers delay the entire project?
Yes, this is especially logistics coordination. This is a poor coordination, I can say. The poor coordination create a lot of gaps or assumptions. Suppose if I given a date, I will please supply Sunday the material vehicle has to lift, but other fellow will assume okay, Monday he may assume, right? He will start. He don't understand the right need. I have seen 3 to 5 days lost per month purely to this communication failure on many projects. So at least this communication has to be effective. What I suggest, suppose the next week is required, every day daily monitoring, daily contacting the suppliers. So sharp 8 a.m. you reach the office, you keep priority for this. Next 3 days, 4 days, what are the supplies? These things are to be addressed. Every day, this single, we should not listen any surprise. And second, very thoroughly has to be followed up for shortages, right? The invoice is made for 100%, but shortages for 94.5%. But these 3% create a lot of logistic costs. This is, and sometimes even logistics comes timely. The site is not ready to unload. The vehicle has to be wait for, even I have seen 3, 4, even 8 days also vehicle is not unloaded in the project sites due to various conditions. These gaps are to be very effectively, very important for the project management. These are to be addressed to avoid any surprise shocks due to logistics.
And in continuation to that, so tell us what are the most common logistic mistakes that slow down the construction projects?
Logistic is a poor site access planning. The site is a very greenfield project, very distant. The vehicle has come to the road, but it cannot reach the site because the rain the last 2 days, water is stored is on the roads. So these are all these type of things are this. Manually, otherwise the material reach at 300 meters distance, vehicle unable to move. So you will have to unload at the distance and 300 meters manual movement. These are the logistics failures, and there is a possibility of the huge costs in the material movement. It is everyone assumes someone else is responsible in the project management, right? Not me. But this has to be very important because materials are paid, before quality is checked and create supplier complacency, and also everyone is responsible for it to minimize the gaps and ensure this type of stocks, zero shortages, and verification of roads, and even sometimes political compliances, some strikes, something is going on, any alternative routes. These are all these things, if it is taken care, project management, it is not the new things, but knows at some corner, but people don't discuss this daily routine, right? This experience and knowledge has to be regularly, every day you will have to warm up and review and take timely action, timely communication, timely suggestions, so that we can reduce all the negative impacts of any projects in this line.
So is shared transport, a cost saver, or it's a hidden cost for delays?
I see there is a situation. So definitely we see. I need steel 200 tons. I just called my contractor. Sir, just I dispatched all the materials. Stock is over. Next stock will be, I will give you first priority, but you will have to wait another 3 days. Right? But 3 days steel is not reached the site. Right? Labor is idle. Maybe labor consists of maybe 500 people or 1000 people, depends upon the size of the project. Even I have seen the many times even 400 to 300 people idle due to lack of steel. Similarly, cement. So cement, for every minimum, it is called in a store's inventory a minimum stock requirement for next 4-5 days at least. So any day, any moment, for site should be ready with the next 5 days materials. If this type of planning is done, this will save and this will improve the project cycle time and reduce the cost.
Okay, and how can MSMEs ensure materials arrive exactly when needed without overstocking them?
Generally, you see, MSMEs, what they do, there are two sides. Here, one project executor, also MSME, some people. That supplier is also MSME. There's both sides, MSME. Generally, the critical components, which are regular consumable type of material, they should know the cycle time, what is required. Some material may require 5 days, some material may require 7 days to reach, and all these things. Hence, that's why they will have to keep materials at least 4 to 5 days in advance. So there should not be tie. Today material is not available in the site, and at what time it will come, we will have to wait and we will have to call and war room phones and shoutings, which will not help. So this is why at least I suggest minimum 5 days, a week, maybe 5 days minimum stock has to be ensured, or maybe one day tolerance can be acceptable. So without this stock, if you plan, definitely it will impact our labor and cycle time. This way we'll have to keep the stocks.
And sir, according to you, tell us what is the ideal level of inventory to maintain, on site for smooth execution?
This is maybe 6 to 7 days. We cannot keep more than that inventory. Otherwise, it will give you a big stores management at the shop, at the sites, project sites. And again, stores management, it's a big cost, is handling at the project sites and all these things. Similarly, there are certain materials, inventory tracking. Generally, tracking, if you see material cost wise, at any time, not more than 5 to 10% of inventory of the project cost should be there at the site. If it is a more, it will influence either the cash loss or long time storing, or the protectives required to increase its life. All these things will come, and still 5 to 10%. Some projects may keep up to 12% of its cost. And also, in addition to that, the daily consumption reports has to be maintained. Weekly, we will have to reconcile and communicate to the people and gate registers has to be verified every day. These are all these things has to be, if they maintained properly, things will improve.
Now, so help us understand the simple systems that can help improve track material usage across sites.
So generally in olden days, we are the people about more than 44 years. We don't have systems and tools in those days. We used to write we using a thick ball pen and 1+5 carbon papers used to write. But today things are very entirely different. See, this lot of platforms to see visually today, simple tally systems or simple ERP systems, and which will compile all the things at one time. We can see real times, we can add, also we can check daily. If you have proper systems, this type of tools, if you use visibility across procurement, inventory, delivery, where to whom it is ordered, when it is come last time, how much time it will take, the real time checks. I suggest digital concept project management is helping a lot today, and there are number of ERPs, not one, there are multiple ERPs, simple ERPs, even Excel advanced way of formatting. This also is helping. This way, if project engineers or site engineers maintain, they can easily come out from this problem.
So help us understand, because digital is everywhere now. How can digital tools improve visibility across procurement, inventory, and delivery?
See, the goal is not technology for its own sake. The goal is one dashboard, a daily dashboard. Okay, daily dashboard to a stores person, daily dashboard for a project head, daily dashboard a site head, daily dashboard for procurement. All these are possible only with a simple integrated material management system digitally. So which will connection is given to everybody, so that these people, the digital dashboard can help them to take day-to-day morning, if they want review, or evening one time review. They will get alarms, they will get real times, they will get lapses, they will tap where the process is held up, so immediately actions can be taken. This way things can be improved.
And what early warning signs indicate that the supply chain is about to disrupt a project?
Generally, this is called escalating. Supplier starts requesting advance payment or credit. We accepting the credit but asking some money. Historically, they are facing liquidate issues, right? The delivery generally due to this cash block. Initially, first point we discussed, this problem to the project site, this is the problem to MSME suppliers also. This both is creating problem. Suppose the delivery lead time 3 days required, in due to some unforeseen conditions it took 7 days, right? Sometimes quality complaints, the material has come, supplier unable to don't have a stock, he has supplied, that is a quality problem. It will to supply that another maybe 2 weeks or 1 month time it takes. These are all these things. So to consider all these things, that's why we said a buffer stock is very important. Buffer stock, there are two stage buffer stocks. One buffer stock at supplier end, buffer stock at the this. Suppose one is missed, second has to compensate. This way, if people plan projects effectively, they can run the project sites economically.
Now,
And also key suppliers contact persons has to be in your daily routine phone, and key suppliers, key purpose. Suppose who to whom I can get. Suppose even supplier is in problem in that company, supplier end, who is the key person who can influence to make it happen fast. These two very alarming points, which are also very important to act timely.
got it. So now my last question to you for today's session is, if an MSME wants to fix its supply chain starting tomorrow, what are the first 3 actions that you would advise them to take?
Madam, project means one thing is very clear: cash to cash, right? Project cost to cost. Generally, in project management, what I used to do back to back setup. If my material invoice and the money comes and give, and also cite project to progressive payments, which are timely comes accordingly. Similarly, MSMEs today, after COVID, there are a lot of change in priority of payments, right? But any project successfully to run this at least 60 to 90 days period has to be keep for working capital flow. 90 days running ke liye capital flow is very important. And second, build your vendor tiring map, 4 to 7 days, what is required. Supplier, you should have a daily monitoring and control on this, what is going on your supplies at the contract supplier end. And also, every supplier you have used in the last 12 months, rate each one honestly. And ABC suppliers grading karo. And also who are supply, suppose if last 3 supplies he has done on timely, yes, is good. If anything backlog, then you should keep a second supplier has to be kept ready. And this ABC grading and ABC rating, and honestly, and appropriate measures to create an awareness and training and to improve the things. You see, either MSME supplier, MSME project, every day is a learning. Every day continual improvement is an opportunity. So you should have a good communication among the loop, and if any lapses, immediately address and preventive actions has to be put place. Then risk should be controlled, and with supplier at the project side. Either side, win-win approach attitude has to be adopted for MSME, either supplier and project, so that project goes smoothly.
So with that, we've come to the end of today's masterclass session. Thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your insights on how MSMEs can optimize supply chains in construction projects. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. This is why I worked with as a project manager in a large company, large project-oriented company. Similarly, as a manufacturing supplier from my company, Elsa, concreting machinery and projects for Pan India. So these are the daily learnings for us, and we will understand the customer-centric approach, and learn from the suppliers, learn from the vendors, and implement continual improvements, so that every project has to success, every MSME has to success, everyone has to get mature in professionalism in getting things. And today I'm saying lastly one word where caution. Annually, country is losing, as per my little calculation, more than 2 lakh crore due to these lapses across country. So we have 100 next 3-4 years 111 lakh crores of projects. You can imagine what is the impact of this loss due to failure of this area. This needs to be addressed. To suppliers and project management has to work together, like you media has to communicate and create an awareness, so that in Indian economy has to grow, Indian construction project has to grow timely, qualitatively, and totally it is a benefit to the society and all of us. Thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. For our attendees who are online, if you'd like to view the current episode, if you've missed any part of today's important episode, please go on YouTube, type JSW One MSME, and you will find all our episodes uploaded there. Thank you once again, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.